Day 4 of March Madness Mask Week Multi Channel Collab. And yes, it is still a mouthful, but I am still having so much fun. The many masks that are available out there are simply astounding. I am having so much fun watching and also applying, and my skin has not loved me more in quite some time. But let's go ahead and get into some questions, because I do have some questions, and then I will kind of recap on how this collab is working, and then I will get into the giveaway. So let's go ahead and get moving to it and get on with the questions. And yes, my voice is in and out. And let's go ahead and start with question number 1. If you could instantaneously master a skill, what would it be? And I'm gonna say baking. And there's a story that comes with it. Of course, everything I say has a story to it. Baking. Baking is one of those things that I struggle with, and I do not understand why I am struggling with it as much as I am now. Because I used to make my kids their birthday cakes. I used to bake cookies all the time. You name it, I baked it. And absolutely loved it. But here lately, these past few years, I have struggled with it enough to where a coworker and I were making cookies at work, and we burnt them. We were trying to make designs. It was a Valentine thing that we were trying to do for the kids, and we started cutting them out because we didn't have any what are they called, cookie cutters at the time. So we were trying to makeshift what we had. The only thing is that they had gotten the rolls of the prepared dough. We didn't prepare it ourselves. I did not know that you do not manipulate dough. You just slice it, put it on the cookie sheet, and put it in the oven. And I think all of the manipulation that we were doing with it to try and shape it caused it to become one very serious hot mess on the cookie sheet, to the point of burning. Yeah, that was one of the most embarrassing things ever. But we were forbidden from baking any longer. So she and I are not allowed in the kitchen to bake. I can cook anything, but baking is one of those things that we're not allowed to do. But let's go ahead and move on to number 2. What place do you consider your happy place? And I'm going to have to say my truck. My truck seems to be my war room. It's my prayer room. That is where I do most of my thinking while I'm driving. I do a lot of figuring out what's next in my life while I'm in my truck. It's just one of those things that I get in my truck and I'm at peace. And I don't understand why either, but that's how I feel when I get into my truck. Number 3, money aside, what hobby could you turn into a profession? And I'm going to say furniture refinishing, because I do like to work with old pieces of furniture and make them look new. I do a lot of the wax painting. I do a lot of just different type of painting, staining, things like that. And I just repurpose old antique looking furniture. I have several pieces in my home that I have kept, and others I have just simply worked on for other people. But that would be a profession that I would not mind doing. Number 4, are you more afraid of heights or snakes? And that's a no-brainer for me. Snakes are completely out. I don't care what you toss at me. Snakes are not going to happen. So heights, I am afraid of them. I can manage them a little better, but snakes will still take the heat, as I'm more afraid of snakes than I am of heights. Number 5, what movie were you way too young to watch but watched anyways? Not by choice, but I did, which was The Exorcist. I think I must have been about 8 or 9 when they put the movie on, the adults put the movie on, and we were still awake, and we sat through the movie afraid the whole time, and I don't know for how long. I was afraid for a very, very long time. Another movie that I was allowed to watch, and I can see where that became an educational type of reason, and that was Roots. Roots is one of those movies that even today, if I happen to watch it, it makes me cry. And mind you, at that time we were still going through all of the segregation type things, so it was a very impacting movie. Number 6. Did you have any pets, and what were they as a child? And yes, I did. The only pet that I really considered to be a pet was my pet pig. At my grandma's, she had chickens and pigs, and you name it, she had it. And my pig was it was mine. Every time I went to grandma's, that pig went with me everywhere I went. I even had him on a leash. I know, very weird, but I had him since he was a baby and until he was old enough, and he followed me everywhere. But one day I showed up at grandma's, and I may have said this story before here. I showed up to grandma's and I can't find my pig. And my grandma said that my pig had run away. Well, I was devastated because that was my pet. I went specifically to play with my pet pig, but a kid, a bully in the neighborhood of where my grandma lived, that little bully decided to tell me that my grandma had lied to me and told me that my pig had run away when in fact I was eating him. Because at that moment I had a pork rind with me and he said that I was eating my pet pig. I threw the pork rind, I ran back to my grandma's, and I confronted her about it. And she didn't deny it, but she didn't accept it either, which I took as, yes, that's what happened. And I'm going to be quite honest, it took me probably 10 years before I would eat anything pig, bacon, pork rinds, it didn't matter, pork chops. I stopped eating pork for probably about 10 years. I was an adult by the time that I started eating pork again, and still to this day, I don't eat as much of it. I'll probably have pork maybe 3 times a year, if that, and that includes bacon. That's just me. I don't know. But let's go ahead and move on to number 7. And number 7 is, if you were born 100 years ago, what occupation do you think you would have? And furniture building. I probably would have a furniture building business. I don't know. I do like to do sanding and painting and all of that. Just, it's a relaxed thing for me and I enjoy it. I love it. Mind you, once I did it as a profession, I don't know, but I'm confident that I would still love it, even if it was a profession. Let's go ahead and move on to number 8, which is the last one. And it's, do you prefer water or Summer Olympics? And I'm going to go with summer or winter, not water, Winter Olympics. And I'm going to say it is Winter Olympics because I do love the winter. I do love the skis. Anything that has to do with snow and cold. Fall by far is my favorite season of the year because it's not too cold, not too hot. But if I'm going to choose between summer and winter, I'm going to go winter every single step of the way. The sports are a lot more fun. We used to ride snowmobiles to work or to school when I was a teenager in Colorado because the cars wouldn't run. You have 4 or 5 feet of snow, cars aren't going anywhere, and schools was optional. And the way that we got to school is you make sure you get yourself to school and you can take the snowmobile. If not, you can't take it. So we went to school. Absolutely. By choice. But those are my 8 questions. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you a recap on how this is running. So we are doing 7 days of masking from the 6th through the 12th of March. We are going to pick a day by doing the spin wheel for numbers 1 through 7. So the number that comes up will be the day that we are going to select the winner from. Each and every day, single day, is going to have a keyword, a word. And I'm not going to For today, no, I don't have a keyword. You know what? I will put it into the, because my mind just went blank. I'm going to go ahead and put it in a pinned comment. So I will give you the keyword in a pinned comment. That I will do. But every single day we'll have a keyword or a secret word, and that day that is chosen, that secret word will be used to pick our winner. One winner per channel is what is going to happen. And now let's go ahead and get into the giveaway. So for the giveaway, what I have been doing is putting in an item a day. And I'm going to go ahead and recap and then give you the item for today. So the first item in here is going to be a little basket. And it is similar to this. It does collapse. So it is a basket for storage or organization. Then I have 2 masks for day number 2. And that is the Empower Beauty Face It mask. The Grace and Stella, it's like an energy drink for your eyes. So those 2 are for day 2. Day 3, I have a Biro serum, and I think that was day 3, along with a placenta mask. So you will have placenta mask as well. That was the mask that I used yesterday. And today's item is going to be and I know I'm not going to say it correctly, Naobe and Niobe. It is a Equalized Freedom Low pH Hemp and Green Tea Gentle Cleanser. So it's a gentle cleanser for gentle skin, for sensitive skin. But it's pretty much, you can use it with any type skin. And I forgot to talk about the mask that I have on. So the mask that I have on is the Frank Body Glow Mask Caffeinated. And caffeinated because I needed to wake up. I did work late last night, so it was hard to wake up this morning. But here we are. Right before going to work, I am doing this mask. So that is what I have for today. All of the rules will be down below in the description box, along with the date that this giveaway will end. And that is pretty much what I have for you today. Thank y'all for joining me. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay safe, stay blessed, smile always. Bye. It is too early, guys. Y'all have